Walter Lironi, Senior Vice President, Head of Value Added Services for Visa in CEMEA. Thank you for joining us today at Economy Middle East.
Thank you for having me.
The way people shop and pay in our region has changed dramatically in just a few years. What's driving this shift?
Well, we have experienced a huge change. I would say we're really leapfrogging the way we used to commerce in this market. And I think now we are really leading globally. There are probably three major drivers. First of all, our consumers, demographics. We have the highest share of Gen Z in the world. These consumers are really buying in a different way. They use mobile phone almost for everything. For example, we have 39% of purchases today happen through mobile phone in the UAE. This is an impressive number, one of the highest globally. The second big driver is, of course, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is really influencing the choices and is going really to change the way we approach commerce. A recent study from PwC says that 20% of retail commerce by 2030 will happen through artificial intelligence. And last but not least, I think there is a huge underlying factor. The level of investment that we are seeing in the region is impressive. We see fintech investing, we see financial institution investing, we see government investing and enabling the build-up of the future in this part of the world. And I'll just give you an example. In Saudi, when Vision 2030 was defined, there was a target for cashless payment. Today, we have already achieved the 2030 target. Actually, the target was achieved at the end of 24. That is 79% of payment today are already cashless. So impressive change in the
Impressive,
region.
really. And with this pace of change, how should banks and financial institutions be approaching modernization?
Modernization, I think, is a top priority for every institution in the market. And modernization is not something that is starting now. Many financial institutions started modernization, I would say, at least 10 years ago. But what I'm seeing more and more is a change in the approach. So historically, step one of modernization was, let's enable new experiences through the front end. Let me develop a mobile banking app. Let me develop a different website. So we are really changing the exterior of a bank, what consumer could see. Now the transformation, the modernization is getting into the bank. It's getting into the real back end, into the core banking system of the bank. And the reason this is happening is because, first of all, those experiences cannot be offered if you don't change and enable them from the back end. Second is because you don't capture efficiency. One of the objectives of digitization is also to have a more efficient operation. If you don't modernize the core banking, you don't capture all those efficiency. Now, in this movement of modernization priority, what banks are experiencing in some cases are real challenges. And the reason there are these real challenges is because some of the legacy system that banks are using are outdated. So this legacy system is basically increasing the operation cost, is showing some outages here and there, is making any innovation slower and slower. So that's why the most forward-looking financial institutions now are actually moving into the cloud. They are adopting cloud solution that will allow them to innovate faster. And what I'm very proud of is that Visa is taking this very seriously. We have actually bought a cloud native company last year. It's called Pismo, and we are now in the process of bringing Pismo into the market. Pismo is basically an issuer processor, a core banking system platform, is cloud native, microservices structured, can really enable the bank to accelerate at pace.
And modernization isn't just for banks, right? Sellers must adapt too. How are they responding to these new expectations?
Wow, the transformation of sellers that we have experienced is probably even deeper than the one we have seen on the consumer side. Uh, what are we seeing? So first of all, a seller and it does not focus anymore on offline, that mean in person or online experiences. Sellers are becoming omnichannel. You need to be able to offer the product consumer want through the channel the consumer wants. And so there are now multiple platform, omni-channel platform, digital capability that enable this. Second is everybody can be a seller, and there are hundreds of millions of content creators in the world that are actually sellers. So, and moms and pops shops around the corners, they want to accept digital payment as well. So they're also becoming uh, digital sellers, and this is great for the economists because this is fostering digital and financial inclusion. So it's a great development, and this is another area where Visa is really focusing on. We are focusing on multiple initiatives, but let me just mention one. We are really customizing and localizing our Visa acceptance platform, also known as CyberSource. So we have done few things on this platform. First of all, we have broken it down in modules. So you can buy the service you need from the platform. You might need a gateway to go online. You might need a fraud service. You might need a tokenization service. You choose what you need. Second, we are continuously innovating the platform. For example, we are now launching unified checkout. Unified checkout will enable you as a merchant or as a seller to accept the payment method that you want. You can accept card payment, you can accept account-to-account payment, you can accept mobile money payment. And finally, we are localizing this platform. For example, we are right now in the process of launching our first global localization of Visa acceptance platform in Saudi. This, I'm sure, will enable new experiences for the Saudi sellers.
And accepting payments, as you just mentioned, is just the beginning. The real opportunity is turning these interactions into long term relationships. So, how can businesses build deeper loyalty and lifetime value?
This is one of the top priorities of financial institutions. So 79% of consumers today are ready to switch bank if they find another bank that offer better value proposition and better digital experiences to them. So the reason why there is this reduced brand loyalty, I would call, is because the offering out there are much more broadly available. The barrier to exit are reduced, and also the regulatory environment allows this movement of relationship in a much faster and easier way. And I think this is great for overall the consumers, right? They can really choose what they need. Of course, to be relevant and to be able to capture those consumers, financial institutions need to be able to hyper personalize their own offering. So the hyper personalization needs to be able to understand the different needs and need to allow financial institutions to offer what is really fit for purpose for you. As Visa, this is one of the biggest priority we have when we support our clients. We do through multiple solutions. One of the areas I just want to mention is our marketing service that I think is becoming very, very relevant in this area. For example, we recently supported Majid Al Futan and Emirates MBD in launching their new co-brand product Share. We did it through a very well-structured integrated marketing plan. We looked at digital platform, we looked at social engagement, we engaged with influencers. So we prepared a very well-structured package to allow this product to reach the right audience. And the result that I'm hearing are impressive. We are bringing more than 70 global assets to the market that are in the areas of gaming, of traveling, of entertainment. These assets will really support our financial institutions in shaping the specific value proposition that will be relevant for that micro segment that they're targeting.
And nowadays, fraud is evolving rapidly, especially with AI. How do you stay ahead of it and maintain trust?
Wow, this is one of the things that keep me awake at night. We expect in 2025 $10.5 trillion of losses due to cybersecurity attack in the world. And this is not only about losses, it's really about the trust, the risk of reducing the trust of consumer into our brands, right? And the reason why this is happening is because fraudsters are becoming more sophisticated. The great news is that this is a top priority for us at Visa. We've invested more than $12 billion in the last 5 years on AI and fraud-related initiatives. And we believe we have a best-in-class type of protection. And one of the great news that we have announced recently is the acquisition of Featurespace, that have developed best-in-class scoring mechanisms to block frauds by looking at 360 degrees at the behaviors of consumers. We are very proud of this new member in the risk family of Visa, and we are now bringing this solution to our clients.
Great. And before we end our conversation, looking ahead, what should business leaders watch out for?
Oh, that's a great question. We mentioned a few topics that are relevant today and will remain relevant, right? Hyper personalization, modernization of infrastructure, fraud. What keeps me awake at night? And these are relevant today and will remain relevant in the future. But if I think about something else, I think is the evolution of commerce through agentic commerce is really the big things that is going to happen. Let me give you a little bit of background here. If you think about the evolution of commerce on a broader scale, right? We were all purchasing and buying in shops before internet came. When internet came, we started to buy online. So from an in-person experience through a laptop or desktop type of experience. When iPhone came, another mobile phone came, end of 2010, we started all to buy through mobile phone. Now, I think the next shift is going to be through agentic commerce. And what is interesting to note is that up to today, I've always been deciding what to buy. I was leading the conversation with the merchant or the engagement with the platform, and I was deciding what to click on. With agentic commerce, there is a huge paradigm shift. You are going to delegate a machine to buy on your behalf. An AI operator will receive your authorization to buy something on your behalf. And this is a huge change. The merchant has to trust that agent. The consumer has to trust that agent. That agent need to buy following the recommendation, the guidelines that the consumer gave to the agent. This is where Visa, with our Visa Intelligent Commerce initiative, we are leading the way. We are working with a major AI platform. We are bringing new capability to the market, and this capability will come by 2026 also in our region.
Great insights, Walter Lironi. Thank you for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.